High and wide.
Welcome back. From what? This is officially season 2 of High and Wide, but we're going to assume that no one knows who we are.
Right.
Right? A little humility here. Maybe we'll start with introductions. Yeah?
Yeah.
My name is Abdulwase. There's an ayn at the end, Abdulwase. I'm 33. I'm a husband. I'm a father of 3 twins plus 1. And I'm a registered psychotherapist in training. Sorry, I can't say that anymore. I've graduated. I'm now registered, qualifying, right?
Nice.
I'm a registered psychotherapist. That's what I do for a living.
Awesome. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Hi. My name's Abdurrafe. There's an ayn at the end. Abdurrafe. I am also 33 years old. We're twins. I'm 4 minutes older. I'm also a father of 3, 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old at the time of this recording. What else? That's all I got. I work in supply chain management.
We should talk about how we came up with the name High and Wide.
High and Wide. It's a play on our names. Abdurrafi means servant of the exalter, he who uplifts. And your name, Abdulwase, is the all-encompassing. So when we introduce ourselves, Rafi' and Wasi'. So for the native Arabic speakers, it's a play on our names, High and Wide. And in this podcast, like we did in season 1, which is a very long time ago, we discussed many, many different topics, but pertaining to our lives, which is, fatherhood and third-generation immigrant experience.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
All that good stuff. Yeah. Rida, my wife, she's asked me, are you going to be consistent this time? I'm like, excuse me, we've been producing an episode consistently once a year.
Exactly.
Don't tell me that's not consistent. I should mention that this season will be on Spotify, on Apple.
Yes.
That's cool. And the full videos will be on Instagram and YouTube. Shout out to Warsha Studios and Omar Salama, who has, and Dial, who are producing, recording, editing, basically everything.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
How have you been?
I'm good. Just chilling. That's all I got. I don't have a whole lot to say.
Yeah. I've been thinking about recording again after so long, and now that I'm a therapist, I've become so self-conscious about my digital footprint.
But I want the opposite. I want to know everything that you've been hearing, because I don't get to hear stories like that. I work from home mainly. I want to hear the crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, I would never do that. No, because you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
It's everyone would probably love to know their therapist's lives or a little bit more about their therapists. Even me, I would love to know a little bit more about mine, but I find there's a little bit of caution now with me, even with my social presence.
Is that why social presence? Is that why you haven't been posting as much about your life?
Yeah, I literally closed. I restricted everything for the entire duration of my placement. Stopped posting anything, everything, even themes that were relevant to fatherhood, masculinity, that kind of stuff that we talked about. And I just shut down everything, because I was like, what if I say something while seeing a client and the client's so intrigued or they want to know more, or I say something like, this guy has some bizarre, twisted views. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I see this person in the same light anymore.
It's just really funny, because I'm the opposite, where I've got a public profile.
Yeah.
And I'll post about my life, my kids, my work, et cetera, et cetera. And there's been times there will be a time soon when a client of yours sees me and thinks I am you.
Yeah.
We've grown up with this all our lives. Recently the RIS conference happened in Toronto, so we were there. And I'm talking to my wife as we're walking out, and I said, what's an interesting experience that I think only I have being a twin is that I'm so cognizant of being in a large space or a big gathering, where I'm so cognizant that there's someone watching me right now who thinks I am Wase. And she's like, oh, that's interesting. And as soon as I finish that sentence, these guys show up and they're like, Salaam alaikum, how's it going? And I knew from the look in their face, the look. The look is like this. It's like you're being greeted with such enthusiasm, but you don't know who this person is. I didn't know who that guy was. And so he greets me so warmly, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm not
Sorry,
who you
buddy.
think I am."
Yeah.
And my wife was
I'm
like,
not that guy.
"My wife was like, that's crazy that you just finished saying that sentence, and then some random guy came up to you thinking you are your twin." So
Yep. Yeah. Sorry about that.
it happened. I remember this one time it happened at the masjid. Someone said hi to me, and then I didn't reciprocate the love or the warmth. Go on.
That's right. And then I think you told me, and I reached out to that friend, and I was like, "Hey,
No, I think he reached out to you at the workplace or something. And he said, "Hey, man, do you have a twin?"
yes,
Yeah.
yes."
Because he was so offended.
He was offended. That's right. He was offended and disappointed that it wasn't reciprocated, the love.
And this guy went home.
I was like, dude, I'm
thinking-
so sorry, bro. It happens. I'm so sorry.
What's
It wasn't
funny is
me.
that he was probably went home thinking like, why didn't he reciprocate my love? Like what? And he went through like all the different reasons, and then he came to the end conclusion saying maybe he has a twin
must have
brother. I
That
gotta
was-
ask him.
That must be the only explanation why Abdul Wase rejected me and my love. It wasn't him.
Oh my god.
That's so funny. I was, for those who may not know us, I was with Islamic Relief Canada for like 8 years basically. And so I traveled the country, met not even dozens, I mean hundreds and hundreds of volunteers across Canada, setting up teams and stuff like that. So my network during that time was fairly large.
Yeah.
And that's why this happens a lot more.
It happens,
It happens
a lot more
to me, to you,
Yeah,
than
yeah.
it does to me. That's why.
Yeah, the perks of being famous or having a famous
Come on.
twin brother. And you've got twin kids, a boy and a girl.
Yes, yeah. Little Zayd and Zainab, 6 years old. And then there's baby Rukaya, who's 20 months. You know, last episode that we recorded,
She was just born.
that's right. She was just born. We did that episode in like the little nursery thing that we had. Honestly, for me, it's just like the milestone of the career. I feel like that's the main thing. You know, the kids. Speaking of the twins, they recently had a sleepover, right?
Yes.
They had a sleepover with the cousins, a big party.
Yep.
And before that, I guess it was inspired by a bunch of stuff within like just the therapy world, but I wanted to have the talk with them about sleepover safety before they got in there. And so I did a little bit of research, like what are the main things that I want to talk about, and I kind of condensed everything and I turned it into I put my phone down, I got them into the room, and I actually just gave them a little talk, and I recorded the whole thing too.
I like that. I remember at the sleepover, I was there at bedtime, and then it was Zaidu. He looked a little upset. It had been a long day, and he was looking a little upset. So I was like, "Hey, do you want to call your dad?" He's like, "Yes, I do." So he FaceTimed you. I was like, "Okay." And then he felt a lot better. But I remember seeing that Instagram post that you had done on sleepover safety. You want to go over some of those right now?
Yeah, if I can remember them. It was like your body is like private. So your private parts, we went through like, tell me the private parts, like list them, name them for me. And that no one can touch them except for yourself or your, mama and baba. If you see something, say something, and you'll never get into trouble for telling a grown-up what you saw.
Nice.
Right? Or what happened. You'll never get in trouble for that. And then I think number 3 was you can call mom and baba whenever you want, as many times as you'd like. And then there's also, you don't have to do anything that you're not comfortable with. Right? And I don't mean like chores.
Right.
But like specifically any physical touching or anything that someone asks, requests of you, or makes you do, if you're not comfortable with that, then you can just say, no, you don't have to do it.
I like that you said to them that they can contact you anytime, because growing up, we grew up in a different world because of technology, right? Where now you have more access to be able to call your parents if you're a younger kid. So me and my wife, we recently went to New Jersey for her cousin's wedding. So we were gone for like 2 nights, I think. And
this is the first time in a while you guys left the kids.
Yes, first time, first trip ever overnight.
What do you mean ever?
We have never stayed away from the kids.
Shut up.
Our eldest is 8. I don't think we've ever stayed away from the kids. Maybe one night if they did a sleepover at a cousin's place. But that first trip, this is our first trip in 8 years. So it was awesome. We went to New Jersey and there was a family. It was a big Palestinian wedding. But the reason I brought this up is because I taught Zakaria how to use Google Chat So I downloaded it on the iPad, created an account for him, and then said, this is how you can chat with me. And we can send pictures to one another. So over the weekend, we were sending pictures to one another. So I'm on my phone, I'm chatting
so
with my
nice.
kid. Yeah, even on this like vacation trip, we still didn't disconnect. Like we still just wanted to be in touch with the kids. And
I don't think
missed us.
there's no such
It's
thing.
not going to happen.
Exist.
And we didn't even want that, right? So
Yeah.
it was just awesome to be able to chat and call and send pictures and say, this is the airplane. This is what Mississauga looks like from the sky.
That's so nice.
So it's cool. I wish I had that growing up where I could call if I missed parents or wanted to say something to be able to communicate. It's pretty cool.
That's really nice. I really like that. First time. So it's the first time in 8 or well, I guess 8 years.
Yeah.
Being away from the kids.
Yeah.
Much needed.
Yeah. It was really nice. We went to New York City. It's a garbage town.
Town. Garbage.
It's
Town.
so garbage. Oh my God. It's so gross. And then when we were in New Jersey, across the river, so you can see the New York skyline, and her cousin's showing me like, oh, this is the skyline, this is Manhattan, yada yada. I was like, listen, man, like this is the seat of capitalism.
Oh, straight up.
If the ICJ doesn't, rule correctly, then this whole system, we need to burn it down. This whole system needs to go. I don't care that you're showing me Manhattan. It's just capitalism, consumerism. It's everything I don't believe in. I don't care. So we went to Times Square.
I love that is
because we're like, we had to check it out.
Burn the whole thing down, burn the system.
We had to go. We went there.
Anti-establishment. So yeah, Times Square.
It sucked. I hated it. Then went up to Central Park, walked around.
I've actually never been.
Yeah, it was my first time.
I've been to New York City. It was like, I don't know, we were driving over from somewhere. It was like a very quick thing, but never actually like core, tourist type of.
Yeah. There's not much else to say.
You want to go again?
No, I wouldn't go again. I'd go check out better places, obviously, like where all the immigrants are, not the touristy places. Like I went to the wrong place, but we only had so much time. So we just hopped over on the bus, and then it's the only place we went. And we only had like 3 hours to kill. So obviously, if I have more time, I'd like to go and see more. But yeah, we just went there. Boys trip. We are due for a boys trip.
I think it's been a solid 8 years of planning. I think maybe we could. No, we did. We did one. We did Dearborn, Michigan.
Yes, Dearborn, Michigan
for one night.
And you know what? The only reason we did Dearborn, Michigan is because at that time the Mississauga Ridgeway Plaza didn't exist.
Facts.
Right. So when we went to Dearborn, we're like, oh, this is really good, like Yemeni food and whatever else we ate.
Yeah.
Right. So and then that was 2022.
Yeah.
Right. 2023 May is when we did that Dearborn trip. And then the Ridgeway Plaza opened. And now I feel like I have no reason to leave Mississauga. I have no reason to do anything. If it's within North America, for halal options, I don't care to leave.
That is so funny. I was legit thinking tonight after the podcast, Ridgeway Plaza.
GC Burger?
Yeah, I'm down. That's so funny. Post Ridgeway,
oh man,
there's not much point of a food related trip.
Yeah. We went quite a lot during Ramadan. We'd be at Isna for halakas, and then me, a bunch of guys from that boys trip, we'd meet up. You came and met us, I think, a few times for Sehri.
Like 3 a.m.
school, parathe and stuff. And there's desi places that are open 24 hours.
I actually hate that plaza. If I can just rant for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sure everyone hates that plaza for specifically the traffic.
Especially the residents around it.
Yeah, of course. I think it's one of the most poorly designed areas I've ever seen.
Yes.
Like you could have easily made that something like the premium outlet stuff where you park.
Yep.
And then you go walk.
Yep.
And then you have access to the shops and stuff purely as a pedestrian only. Yep. Yeah. That would have been great.
Like every other weekend, there's a TikTok of like cars just flipped upside down.
Piled on top of each other. The cops are there. There's a protest happening. Someone got in a fight. I was going to piggyback off of that and talk about the need for something like a boys trip now. Because, I think not necessarily a boys trip, but that space was really cool. To be with like, what, it was 6 of us, 7 of us, something like that, for like a full 2 days.
Yeah,
that was really nice. And I don't think I've done that since then. I
haven't either. And that was my first boys trip, like ever. I think ever. Like I feel like I've just been drowning in parenthood, and then when I was
Drowning in Parenthood, I like that.
and then when my youngest was finally old enough, I was like, yeah, I can go out. I should go do something. And then your wife, my wife, three of you convinced me to go out of my comfort zone and go to Dearborn, Michigan, because I was like, yeah, I'm just so happy being at home.
Yeah.
Like earlier today I was having coffee and I made a date cake. It was a sticky toffees date cake
That looked really
off of
good.
TikTok. So I was sitting down and having that, and my wife's like, "What's up? You good?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm so happy right now. So literally all you need is a good cup of coffee and cake, and like this is all I need." So yes, homebody, very much so.
Yeah.
But that was the first time that I went out because I didn't have the mental capacity to like do anything, and I'm so glad that I did. And this past year, I felt like I finally have mental clarity and like I have the capacity to even do things, which has been so new for me. It's been really nice.
Good for you.
Yeah. Are you there yet, or is it your youngest is younger than mine?
She's wild and she is younger than yours, yes. But I think I have had to force myself to get here. Like I think I'm generally pretty good at taking care of myself, generally speaking. And so I think I've had, like, I used to do, annual camping trips with the guys,
Yeah.
right? Even before. So that, and then having different spaces, like unplugging from the world or unplugging from work, clients, family, stuff like that, have generally been pretty good, because, yeah, you got to take care of yourself in order to take care of other people, help other people.
Yeah.
And I chose to do this as a career. So like I try my best to really invest into taking care of myself.
Nice. This past year for me, so like 2023 just ended. That was my year to really do me. You know what I mean? Like focus on me. And the two words I would use to describe 2023 for me was deep sleep. Like I invested in my sleep so much. Finally got a CPAP for my sleep apnea. It's changed my life. And then just doing magnesium supplements on the daily. So it's just that's been my focus is, finally had the mental capacity to like do something outside of drowning. And I was like, what should I do? I was like, oh, I should focus on sleep. Yeah. Like that's what I need. And it's been amazing. So if anyone has sleep apnea or thinks they have sleep apnea, get tested.
Dude, I'm so excited because I'm likely getting CPAP. And I remember the first morning after you tried yours.
Yeah.
And I don't know, message or call, whatever. You were like, it literally like life changing.
Yeah.
There's a before and after in my life, and this was the turning point.
Yes, it's changed my life. I thank my doctor. I'm like, hey, I think you're saving my marriage. He laughed so much, but it's so true. It's been awesome. Yeah. I'm
so excited. That sounds like
sleep, man. Just something so simple, you know what I mean? But like any parent knows this, moms especially, like sleep.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I love that. That's hilarious. Next episode, hopefully, I would have tried mine, inshallah. And then maybe I'll let you know. Yeah, excited to know. Most of us as parents, we have one kid, right? We don't go from zero. We don't go from no kids to two kids. You had twins. Just me?
Yeah, You had twins as your first. What did that do for you?
Honestly, the first 4 years of that entire thing, honestly, it's a blur. Yeah. It was like a tornado.
I started laughing because I knew that's what you were going to say.
Yeah, literally was a tornado. And anyone that we spoke to and told them we had twins, they're just like, how are you serious? Like, how are you guys doing it? How'd you guys do it? Like, honestly, I don't know. I'm actually not sure how we did it. Like, alhamdulillah, we had a lot of support. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. A lot of support. God bless my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, God bless. But yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. Met someone at work, Muslim guy. He's a dad as well. Just a few years older than me. But he's like, hey man, can we like hang out? Because I need friends. And I was like, thank you so much for being just so honest. Yeah, let's do something. I love that. He's like, listen, I'm not into sports. I'm like, me neither. He's like, can we just do board games? I was like, that's an amazing idea. Amazing. Let's do that. So we started a sci-fi club at work. Nice. And we had our first meet and greet. And we're going to host some board games. That's so cool. I love that. Yeah. You and I tried to start a dad's group once. It failed epically. Yeah. Right. I think we made it too, I don't know, formal or something. I'm not sure, but I'd love to try that again one day.
Yeah, me
Because I
too.
think there's a need for it for just dads to get not necessarily support, but just not be alone.
Yeah.
Right. I say not get support because it's a lot for a guy to ask another guy for help with their problems. That's probably not going to happen in some sort of like forum or group if it's unless it's anonymous.
Yeah.
But I think just the camaraderie, just to
hang out.
hang out.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
I'd like to do that also. Okay, we'll leave it at that. This podcast is available on Apple and Spotify, and the video recordings are up on YouTube and Instagram. It's produced by Warsha Studios. Like and subscribe.
Warsha Studios Podcast.